Hello everybody and welcome to Dan Chalmers Tech, and I hope you're doing well. And in today's news we're going to be discussing AMD's advertising over the Ryzen Pro processors. We've got news on their lawsuit payout and Threadripper 3000, and Nvidia are to release a new GTX graphics card. So let's roll that intro and jump straight on into it. So let's kick things off with the advertising over AMD's Ryzen Pro processors. And on the 28th of August, AMD uploaded a video to their YouTube channel titled "Why Use AMD Ryzen Pro Processors Pro for Business?" And this got both the gaming and tech press up in arms. Basically, AMD were claiming blazing fast clock speeds and then a speed gauge with the needle twitching, and it didn't reach the end, but you had also the phrase 5 GHz. However, on the 30th of August, AMD have re-uploaded the video, and it now shows blazing fast clock speeds again with the needle twitching, but just the words gigahertz. To be honest, this isn't much better than what it was before. You know, if you're going to release a video, do it properly. But obviously now people are bringing out memes, there's people asking where the 5 GHz have gone, and basically we could see the needle twitching below 5 GHz. And from my assumption and what I could see, it's probably around about 4.6, 4.7. Obviously none of the other processors of the 3000 series, shall we say, are reaching higher than that, unless you've got very, very good water cooling systems, you're using LN2, or maybe you've just won the Silicon Lottery. But this is a little bit of a mishap on AMD's side. Now they are also going through the lawsuit at the moment over their bulldozer architecture. So AMD have agreed to pay out $12.1 million, and the whole lawsuit was to do with their 8-core FX processors. But in reality it was actually 4 modules with 2 execution cores sharing the resources. So for instance, you would add a shared front end and you would add floating points sharing the same resources, which made it incapable to run the cores independently. AMD have also agreed to pay $35 compensation per consumer, which is equating to about $12.1 million. However, there are some restrictions. You would have to have bought the FX processors on AMD's website or in the state of California. It's only for specific models as well, like the FX 8120, 8150, 8320, 8370, 9370 and 9590. And it's only the bulldozer architecture, so no other derivatives. So we do also have some Threadripper 3000 series benchmarks on over at Geekbench. Now there are 3 scores, 2 of which were done on Linux drivers and 1 of which was done on Windows driver. Up first is the Linux 64-bit benchmark. The 32-core 64-thread chip came with a single-core score of 5,677, whilst the multi-core score reached 94,772. We get a base frequency of 3.6 GHz, but no listed boot frequency at present. Again, there's no mention of frequency on the memory side of things, but it was tested using 128 GB. Now, L3 cache is 16 times 8, so 128 MB of L3 cache in total. So up next is the Windows 64-bit benchmark, and this time around we get a base clock of 2.2 GHz and a boost clock of 4.17 GHz. However, memory is only 25% of what was on the Linux test at 32 GB. The single core score is 5,523 compared to 5,677 on Linux, so really not much in it. But when it comes to the multi-core score, the extra 96 GB makes all the difference. Here we see 68,576 compared to Linux at 94,772. So how does this compare to AMD's current 32-core chip, the 2990WX? Well, as of the 30th of August on a Windows benchmark, the 2990WX achieved a single core score of 4,788, with a multi-core score of 41,344, and it was running 64 GB of memory. The base clock was 3.87 GHz and a boost clock of 4.12 GHz. So this just goes to show how much of an advancement AMD have made on the Zen 2 architecture over their last generation. And to be quite honest with you, with scores like this, it looks like Threadripper 3000 is going to be an absolute monster. So it looks like Threadripper 3000 is also going to get a chipset upgrade. Originally we thought it was going to be X599, as their current TR4 platform is the X399, but then X599 would clash with Intel. Well, on over at USB-IF, they originally were showing X570, which is the AM4 platform, to now show TRX40, TRX80 and WRX80. Video cards have also reported on this from their sources on Asus. They have indeed been working on at least 2 motherboards, and judging by the current naming schemes, the Asus Prime TRX40 Pro and the Asus ROG Strix TR40E Gaming, that the TRX40 and possibly even the TRX80 motherboards would be for high-end desktop users, whilst the WRX80 could be more for workstations. We're just not 100% too sure. We don't even know how these boards are going to utilise the PCIe lanes or even the memory channels. But what we do know is it is backwards compatible, so your current Threadripper chips will work on these motherboards by AMD's promise. So Nvidia are looking at releasing a 1650 Ti in October of this year. However, the specs are pretty much non-existent, so I'm going to do a little bit of speculation. I've also got this graph that I found online, so some of it will be the same and it's going to be what I think, and I want to see how far out or not I may actually be. So for instance, let's take the 1650. At the moment it has 896 CUDA cores. The 1660 has 1408. The difference between the two is 512 CUDA cores. Divide that by 2, you get 256, plus that of the 1650 gives us 1152 CUDA cores. So regarding the clock speeds, I think this will be the same as the 1060. Obviously DDR5 memory, but I think it will have 4GB. However, I'm only speculating, so obviously we don't actually know, but I think this may actually be as close to as possible what the specs of a 1650 Ti will be. So that's it all from me. Please tell me your thoughts on today's news in the comments section down below. If you did like the video, then go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Please do click on that subscribe button, it'd be greatly appreciated, and do click that bell icon for more notifications from myself. And like always, I shall see you in the next video.